What you got? What do you got?
Whoa!
All
these big carrots.
Look at those big carrots. And look at these big carrots. And look how many more there are. Okay, so I just have to brag on, oh, poof, there's some more. I've never had such a wonderful crop of carrots. And I know there's lots of people out there that grow good carrots, but I'm just so happy with these because I planted them so just like randomly, willy-nilly. And they just did absolutely awesome. What do you got? Oh, that's a little one. That's a little one. Why are you showing that one off? Oh yeah, plus the weather's super nice today, so me and the boy got our shirts off. I won't make you guys see me. Kenzie, that's enough. That's enough. I'm gonna have to pick these and can them, I guess. There's so many. Look at these broccolis, big heads of broccoli, which they're going to flower a little too soon. My wife let them go too long. She forgets about them.
Hey, Dad.
Huge cabbages.
Look at this big one.
They are just doing amazing. I see that one. Wow, yeah, that's a good one. They're doing amazing in the soil. It's still so funny. This has more of the composted cow manure in it. It must. And this soil down here is just turted out. If you go back in my videos like, I don't know, 6 months ago, that spinach just never really grew. You see these little broccolis. This little broccoli here, whoopsie. This little broccoli here was planted at the same time as this broccoli here. You know, so it's like something's obviously messed up. And this garden over here kind of did the same thing. On that northern end, there's just really, those cabbages were planted at the same time as these cabbages. But anyway, the weather's getting better every day. The onions never really made it out too much. Who knows? Oh, well, they bulbed up a little bit, actually. I've kind of lost track of the onions, but they're bulbing up. They're trying. I never thinned them like I should have. But things are going awesome. I'm really just bragging that, you know, it's springtime and I'm just super excited about it. A little clementine tree here is popping, about to bloom. We were afraid we were going to lose these because we planted them and then the next day we got a hard freeze. But it's leafing out, made it through it. The avocado trees, yeah, not so much. They didn't make it. So we'll have to replace them. That's kind of shameful. But yeah, just out here pulling these carrots up, and I love picking carrots because, you know, all you see is the green top and then you pull this massive carrot out. But we're gonna go out here to the main garden where we're working, and I'll give you a little tour of how everything's doing out there. Well, sad but exciting news. My wife's given up on her red wigglers. She had big plans for these, but she just decided she just can't keep up with them anymore. And that's okay. At least we're gonna stop this before they get totally dead. So we're gonna dump them out here in the garden. There's this ball of them. This was in the bottom bucket, which is supposed to be the drain bucket.
Yuck, worms!
Worm, yeah! So we'll dump them out. We'll just give them a little protection from the sun. Now, let's see what's in this bucket. This was supposed to be their top feeder bucket. So let's dump it out and see what's in there. See if we find a big old glob of them in the bottom. That is pure worm castings. Oh, there's a big wad of them. Yep. Calm down. What? What's wrong with you? Let's see what's in here. Oh my! Look at them! She thought they were dead. She thought they were all dead, so she told me to just dump them out. Look at that. Gobs and gobs of them. Now I feel like a fool for dumping them out. But they will do fine out here in the garden. That's pure worm castings. They will serve us well. They sure will. They sure will serve us well. This is the part of the garden I'm expanding right now to lay out. So we'll let them... Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Okay, so worms are dumped out. They'll figure out how to burrow down in the dirt there before they get cooked by the sun. At least I sure hope. Kids are munching on those awesome carrots still. But I was just going to give you a quick tour of the garden and show you how things are going. The peppers, they are just about back to where they were. That's about what size they were when they got popped by the frost, but they're coming back. The tomatoes are doing very, very well. Pretty much all the tomatoes survived the frost. I guess I lost one here. I don't know what these nasty little weeds are that are coming up, but I was going to show you some of the tomatoes are already starting to bloom. Yes, sirree, Bob. So we got some blooms on the tomatoes. The potatoes, overrun with weeds, but they are working on coming through. I've got to get them thinned out and healed up. The trees have just about all woke up. Oh yeah, look at that. What kind of flower is that? Do you know?
I don't remember.
I think it's a daffodil. Daffodil. So a lot of our flowers are blooming, which is fun because I just love having flowers. And as I mentioned before, the blackberries are coming up. These were the root cuttings. I'll make another video about that actually. The Granny apple trees are finally, Granny Smith apple trees are finally leafing out. And this one over here, our one, yeah, I might just walk over there and show you. It's actually got a blossom on it. So I was just really nervous. The apple, for whatever reason, these Granny Smith apples have taken way longer to bloom out than everything else. Like even leaf out. I mean, this one here has no lateral limb, so it's just this stalk. And I was really scared it wasn't going to make it. Just like looking at down there at the graft, it doesn't look very good. Hopefully it comes back through that. But anyway, it looks like it's coming out now, and hopefully at some point it'll put on some side branches. These are just blossoms here off these little stubs, spurs, whatever you want to call them. But hopefully it puts on some branches. But everything's leafed out, looking really great. Oh, look at this! We've got an early sunflower already. These are the black oil sunflowers that just grow all over the place, that are sprouted up from the seed and the goat feed that we make up. So yeah, all around just absolutely tickled with spring being here. Everything's just growing. I mean, we do have weeds everywhere, but hey, that's part of it, right? Those weeds will just die right there in the pile and add more organic material, so I don't mind. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to tell you. Hopefully this is a good little spring garden update for you guys, and hopefully it's the start to a really successful summer. Okay, so a little update on the blackberries. You guys remember those were planted from root cuttings. They've been a little slow to come up, but I mean, I guess that's fine because they were dormant. So I've just been going through the row trying to see how many I could find. There's one, there's one, there's one. I planted them like 6 inches apart, all over on top of each other. So they should be pretty thick. Here's one coming up. Not that one. Here's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Not that. There's a tulip coming up, looks like. Over to the next one. Oh, those are water sprouts off that tree. Those need to be dug up and taken out. Sunflower, boy, I wish the blackberries were that big, huh? Oh, where else are we? There's one. There's one. There's one. They're just starting to come up. So this year will be all about growth. There's one. Obviously, there's one. Oh yeah, we're doing really well. There's way more. I looked at them last night. I just got home from being gone for a couple weeks, and I was afraid because I didn't see near so many, but there's one, there's one. That's the end of that row. And yeah, it's about the same on this row. As far as it seems like 2 or 3 will come up, and there's kind of a blank spot, and 2 or 3 more. So
Hey Dad, can you make a video
yeah,
all these flowers?
I'm really happy with blackberries so far. I mean, again, if you go back to the original video where I was talking about planting them, you know, why I did it, there's one, was just, I mean, from an affordability aspect, it's hard to beat, really. Even the risk of poor germination, it still makes it worth it. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. So yeah, I mean, already just, right, what I mean, I don't remember what I said on the video, but it was something like, you know, if you buy a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old plant, you know, it's like $10 a piece if you just go buy it retail. So I've already paid out because I spent $75 on the whole mess. So, but those are doing okay.
Daddy, a rose.
What? It's not a rose, it's a tulip, buddy. It's a tulip. And then of course over here we've got our 3 Freedom Primarchs. So they're doing okay. These, I think they're I don't know what they're cultured cuttings or what they are, but these were basically the original plants that I planted. They grew a little bit and leafed out, but what I really like on this one is, looking down here at the base, it's got a second one.
Wait, I didn't smell it.
Oops, it's got a second one coming up beside it off the root. So that's really good to see them getting established. So that'll be exciting. I planted again. I planted these 3 Freedom Primarchs over here just to keep them away from the rest, so I can kind of keep up with what's what. I don't really know about, their leaves look a little yellow and something's been munching on them. But like I said, it's These were kind of the original leaves that were on it when I planted it. You can see these new shoots coming out here that are fresh leaves that are looking really good. So hopefully they make it. But ultimately, it'll be really interesting to see how they look in another year. Man, I gotta get that grass out of there. It'll be really interesting to see in another year when all of the flowers are sprouted up and the canes are all tall. So you got a row of blackberries with a row of flowers all on the base. I think that'll be really pretty. It is a sunflower, buddy. Yes. Okay, so anyway, I want to share that with you guys, a little update on the garden. Like I said, everything's looking really good. It's getting way ahead of me. But I've got to get back to work on spreading manure here.